Well, allegedly, according to like NBC News, based on sources with the feds, it's sex trafficking, sexual assault, illegal narcotics, firearms.
So basically they're coming in for sex trafficking. Now, what does that actually mean?
Ooh, and that's a tough one, man, because technically if you fly a girl out and y'all have sex,
that's sex.
It could technically be sex trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
If they could prove that she was being flown out just for sex. Now, if you say, this is my girlfriend or this is someone I'm dating and I'm flying her out and we just happen to have sex, but we did all this other stuff also, it's a little gray area is the problem.
And I don't think people really understand that. When you fly a girl out, all rappers, NBA players, when you fly a girl out, that is actually considered sex trafficking. On the bottom line of it. Like, I know what we think when we hear sex trafficking. We think we're going to kidnap you, put you in like a car,
take an underage girl and tie her up and throw her in a crate.
Flying there, getting her a ticket and bringing her to you.
Then locking her up like R. Kelly and having your homies take turns on her. No, like that kind of stuff does happen. That's all.
No, that's right. The one we know.
But no, it can literally mean, hey, so-and-so is flying this girl out just for sex.
Yep.
And she's being maybe pressured a certain type of way to have sex with you.
No.
It could really get very ugly very quickly.
But that's for everyone.
For everyone.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone in this sense, the bottom line of sex trafficking in this sense is I can fly you from state to state.
Or drive you.
Or whatever.
Give you a Greyhound bus ticket.
Yeah.
Here's a ticket, come see me. So we can have sex. Sex trafficking.
So when some girl like tries to out a rapper, like, oh yeah, he flew me out, he didn't want to have sex with me, right? That technically that was sexual trafficking with the intent.
Yeah.
Like that is the bottom line of it when you really want to. So here it's really hard. I think if you really want justice, if you think he did something wrong, stop the spaghetti information. What happens is when everyone starts chiming in and adding their little 2 cents, I got a story. All those stories are actually helping Diddy.
Of course. Well,
yes.
I don't know.
Because
they are or they aren't. It depends on the story itself.
What happened? Think about any case, right? If there's 100 stories, 2 of them correct, right? Think about the 98 that just blended in their bullshit. All his attorney does is go after the 98. Fuck the 2. Go after the 98 to show how bullshit these stories are. And that's all you do in cases. You attack the weakest part of these claims. So you got these claims. There's 10 claims in them. He don't have to fight all 10. Just pick the ones that are stupid as a defense attorney.
Yeah, but if you could convict him on the ones that are true and the ones that have solid evidence, you could have 20 fake ones and it ultimately won't matter to the jury. If you could, you could have a bunch of charges and the jury, could have 20 charges and they could only find him, guilty of one of them, but that one charge might have a 20-year.
Yeah, but that's where the defense comes in. The defense comes in, he focuses on the 19 that are wrong and shows how stupid it all is, and it's going to be the attorney to stay focused on the one, which most.
Listen, I've done Piers Morgan, I've done News Nation recently. On both of those shows, I've said that he hasn't been charged with anything. And ultimately, a lot of this is hearsay, and a lot of this is very gray area and fuzzy. And obviously, he has a lot of money, and a lot of people want to try to take that money in civil lawsuits. And the Cassie case opened up a floodgate of copycats.
Yeah.
This is why it's very important, as someone who's been through lawsuits myself, it's very important that you don't just sit there and give someone a huge bag of money as soon as they ask for it, because everyone else will come in and ask for the same thing. You know what I'm saying? You ultimately try to get that number down so low that other people are going to say, not worth our time. Or other lawyers in particular. So all these cases are done with contingency lawyers.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that part.
Yeah.
Puffy's spending millions on his defense.
Mm-hmm.
All these people who are suing him pay nothing. The lawyer is taking it on contingency and he'll get a third.
Yeah, the problem with the Cassie is if you've been negotiating her from the beginning, that was his downfall, where that should have never went out. See, sometimes people don't realize when you're trying to negotiate, the threat is your biggest asset. The threat, that what you're holding, what he's scared of, is the power. Once you come out, like most of these guys, they're coming out now.
Yeah.
It done already hit him, so he don't need to negotiate no more with you. You already did the damage. Now I just gotta ride this wave. So most of these people, they're not gonna get any money.
Yeah.
Because the threat is the money. You're threatening, I'm gonna do it. And then he gets scared enough to write the check.
Yeah.
Right? Once you out me and now I go through all of this, like, oh, okay, you don't have anything. Him throwing sex parties and shit like this and him compromising you to suck pee-pee for for a movie role and take that video. How do you prove you wasn't willing to do it? We don't know.
Yo,
right? You're not going to be able to prove that in court.
Look, I read through the entire Lil Rod lawsuit, and there are some very ridiculous things in that lawsuit, saying Diddy promised that if I produce this album, I would win a Producer of the Year Grammy, and he would give me his $20 million Miami mansion.
Yeah,
like,
see?
really?
That's
He's
what
gonna
I'm
give you his $20 million Miami mansion on Star Island just to do a few tracks on an album that no one's gonna buy?
And see that right there. Little things like that,
Yeah.
fuck up your case.
Yeah.
You go so extra that you mess up the case with just like you said it, like you read this part. Those little parts in there hurts your case.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna give you his $20 million. Shut up. Right? Just say he was gonna give you an extra $1 million or an extra 500. You nickel and dime. You don't go for these extravagant ass
Right.
Hey, he said he was gonna give me an extra 500,000, an extra 250. You throw it in so when it's all said and done, it came to 10 million.
I mean, Puffy actually lives in that home.
I
That's
know.
one of his main homes. I'll just give you my home that my kids stay at. Just you're doing a couple of tracks, but there's so much. Apparently, in this lawsuit, he claims that Puffy and one of his sons shot a man in a studio, and then managed to convince him to go outside and claim it was a drive-by. And he has pictures of the actual bathroom with blood all over it. He claimed that Puffy would try to make him do gay things. He dragged in a bunch of people. He actually dragged in 50 Cent's Babymother, Daphne Joy, said that she was a sex worker.
Yeah.
That started a whole
I've seen that. Which she wants to sue now. And how are you suing? How do you prove you're not a sex worker? How do you prove you're not? What are you gonna do? How do you prove it? You don't prove it. You can't prove it. If you had sex with Puffy and he bought you something,
you're a sex worker.
Little Rod, that's sex working. Yeah, you see, and that's how that works. You can't. It's his perception of what he thinks you are at that moment in time, right? If you accepted a bag, if you accepted a trip, he's in his mind that is considered sex work, right? And that becomes a problem because that's opinion based.
Yeah.
So that's what I said. All he did was technically the Cat Williams at the beginning of the year. He just throws a bunch of names and a bunch of accusations, and from there you're trying to weed in what's real, what's fake.
Yeah, because 50 Cent allegedly filed for full custody of their son, and then she turned around and called him a rapist and say he never sees his son, and then he's like, oh, she moved next to me so she could try to get pregnant again, and back and forth and back and forth.
Well, technically, she called him a rapist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now that 50 Cent can prove he's not, right? Where haven't I been charged? Did you file a claim against me?
Right.
No? Well, I'm suing you for defamation. Now that's a claim that 50 Cent, because you added a label on me with I can prove that I'm not because I haven't been charged. No one's claimed it. You didn't file it. There's no police report. Defamation of character. I'm suing you for that.
Right. I can't get these movie deals because they think I'm a rapist.
Yes.